Welcome, Soul Visionaries. I am your host, Sherrod Cohen, and you are now entering the realm of the Soul Vision Powercast, a place where we keep it unfiltered and raw. We discuss anything from porn to politics. We'll even talk about things you might have heard or even saw. Today, we're talking about being a stepdad, the cons of being a stepdad, and the shit you have to put up with. Without further ado, let's kick it. Today we're going to talk about being a stepdad, the pros and basically the cons of becoming a stepdad and the women that you have to put up with in order to be in that role. I'm going to play a video, a 4-minute video, and then we'll discuss it afterwards.
I'm going to see if you going to tell him. He's coming in right now.
I let him know what's
and then
up.
Because he ain't going nowhere. That's my son. That's my only son.
At some point, he got to go.
Never no time.
I mean, at some point, he
Never
got to
no
go.
time.
Man.
Never no time.
Tell him, Christian.
No, you tell him. We're talking about you grown and you got to go somewhere. I told him, you only son, you ain't going no damn where. You go when you get ready.
Man, I just feel at some point you need to make your own way. That's what I be wanting to walk through the house naked sometime, and there you go. So I mean, what?
No, if anything, you can go, not him. How about that?
I want to pay all the fucking bills in here. You gonna tell me where I can go?
But the thing is, like, why do I got to, this is my mama's house, like, why do I got to leave my mama's house?
Period.
Man, you damn near 40 years old. Damn near it's time to go. I mean, at what point?
I'm 29, I'm not damn near 40.
Well, that's pretty good. 10
But
years
you know
away.
what? When I met you, you was living with your mama.
Man, please.
You
I
was
was
living
in
with
and
your-
out. Come
you
on,
was
man.
living with your mama.
I
Now
was
you
only
gonna tell
22
me.
years old.
Now you gonna tell me
Nah,
because he
No, I ain't
29.
gonna lie, but I ain't getting up. I'm not getting up. I'm
Man,
not
he
going
got to
nowhere.
go.
I'm not going nowhere.
He
This
has
is
to
my
go.
mama's house.
Well,
And you ain't gotta go
You know
nowhere.
what? Damn it, I ain't gonna pay no bills either. Then, damn it. Now, how you feel about that? You don't want him to go? I won't pay the bills.
No,
but
you gonna continue to pay
he
the
got
bills.
to go though, man. It's too much. See, we arguing and stuff about stuff.
But at the end of the day, all y'all do is tell me to help. Y'all ain't saying nothing. It's like,
Man, you a
so
grown
y'all ain't
ass
saying
man. You supposed to know the garbage overfill. You supposed to know to take that outside. Come on, man. I don't have to tell you all this stuff, man.
But the thing is, I'm barely here, so I'm barely making garbage. So why I gotta take the garbage out if I'm barely here? If I'm barely here, barely making garbage, barely making dishes, like why I gotta do anything?
Well, she gonna
Right.
always make excuses for you, man. But
Right, he don't even be here. So what is you talking about? He don't be here like that. He come here,
well,
he
when
sleep,
he's
and
here,
then he on
he needs to
business the
help
rest
out.
of the day.
When he's here, he needs to help out. He needs to do some things. He
Well,
needs
I
to
tell
be
you what,
productive.
he ain't paying no
well,
bills
damn it,
and
he
he
gonna
ain't
start
gotta go.
paying some bills around
But
us.
I ain't paying.
But
I
I
gotta pay.
I'd rather for him to
My
get the
mama,
fuck out.
but listen, my mama said I gotta pay no bills. I ain't paying no bills.
He gotta pay. What I want him to do is save his money and do what he needs to do with his
You
money
the whole reason
and
why
not
he is
pay
the way
no
he is,
bills.
because all this soft shit you bring to him, he still got the titty in the mouth. You let
Oh,
all that
hell
stuff
no.
go on.
Nah, you know what I know? You jealous. You jealous of my
Only like
son.
you would say
You
that.
jealous of my son.
Only you would say some bull
But I
crap.
don't know
Like
if you jealous or not, but I just know I ain't getting on my mama's house. Like, if I gotta get on my mama's house, you gotta put me on my mama's house at the end of the day.
that. Well,
Just at the
damn
end
it,
of the
I'm
day.
gonna be carrying you out. You got to go.
Oh, you don't mean you want to carry us
Ain't got
both out then if
ain't
that's
got no
the case.
problem with carrying them out. I just shoot them on out. And you,
Michael, now you know good and damn well I'm not kicking my son out.
I ain't going
what
nowhere.
point you respect
No, at the end of the day, I ain't worried about it. Like, at the end of the day, I'm here. I live here, so until I'm ready to get out, I'm gonna be here. So it don't
At
matter.
what point is you trying to? What's your plans for this man? What's
my
really
plan
going
is to
on?
stay in here as long as I need to stay in here. That's my
I mean,
plan.
what if he 45, 50?
Yeah,
And he gonna be 45, 50
Don't
up
matter,
in here.
crazy as hell. Well, damn it, I'm gonna be out there.
Bye.
I understand. No,
Bye.
going. He's
Bye.
going. He's going
Get the
before me.
stepping. Get the stepping.
He
Because
going.
this is my only son. He ain't going nowhere.
That's what's
My only son,
You
shit.
the one made him like this because your weak ass.
You know
made
what?
him.
Come and go. Your son is forever.
Man, I
See
feel
what I'm
God.
saying?
You better
I
go.
forget it. I
See
forgot
what
what
I'm saying? That's
Right. And like
see,
I said,
you made him this way. You made him
No,
this
I
way.
ain't make him this
This
way.
is a product of your.
I ain't making this way.
This
Like
is a
I
product
said,
of
it
your
ain't like
bad
he don't.
decision, your bad choice.
It ain't like he don't know how to get out here. Like I said, when he ready to go, he can go.
All right, here we go. Now, you just saw that video with the woman saying what her son doesn't have to do. She and the stepfather are going back and forth or whatever. I don't know how long this guy's been in this young man's life, but I guess it really doesn't matter how long that this man has been in this young dude's life. You know, his mama clearly wears the pants in the house. You know, and she said it's her house. Dude came in, he's paying all the bills. He's doing what women say they want a man to do. Come in and pay all the bills and this and the other. But this is the problem with dating a woman with children or a child or children. See, when you come in, you don't have any leverage. You don't have any power over those children. This dude is 29 years old. And from what the man is saying, you're not contributing around the house. I don't give a damn if you don't stay there all the time. If you got keys to the damn house and you coming in and out as you please, you need to be doing something around the fucking house. You need to be paying the bill. You need to be cleaning up. You need to be helping to fix shit. You don't just get to come in, you know, eat, sleep, and shit, and then take off. You know, because what this sounds like, you know, and then she says, you know, what caught my attention was when dudes like, you know, why am I going to take the garbage out? I'm barely here. Well, if you barely here where you need to be, where you at most of the time, that's where you need to be laying your head and paying your bills at. If you barely there, then what's the problem with getting your ass out? What it sounds like is he get to lay up, you know, this sounds like Baby Boy. That's who this is. This is Baby Boy. This is Jody. This little nigga right here probably laying up on some female, you know, sounds like he probably got a kid or something like that, laying up on the child's mother or whatnot. He sounds like a lazy motherfucker. I don't know him personally, but I'm just going by what it sounds like, what it seems like. You know, this young lady right here is telling him, oh, you ain't got to get out. You can stay till you're 45, 50 years old. Now, when you women are asking, you know, where all the good men at, you know, what happened to this kind of man and that kind of man and this and that and the other. Well, what happened to him, basically, you guys. You all are what happened to him. The women that are like this woman here, you all are what happened to young men. You all are what happened to men. When you talk about deadbeats, you got to talk about the cause and effect of what's a deadbeat dad. This is one of the causes right here. This motherfucker probably watches his mother get up, do everything, this and that and the other, and doesn't even raise a finger. With all this tough talk, I ain't got to get out. You got to put me out. But damn, you don't seem like you want to help around the house at all. And that's the shit that gets me right there. You're a young man, you're 29 years old, you're able-bodied, but you don't want to do shit. That makes no sense. But then the funny thing is, you women raise the sons to be the kind of men that you yourselves don't even want to fuck with. But you want somebody else to have to deal with it. See, that makes no sense. And then when a man does step in and try to fill the void of him not having a father and try to be that role model for him, you all up in the way, you're interfering. You're not trying to see him grow into a man. You want a son husband. You just want this motherfucker to be, you know, around whenever you need him. You know, when you talk about deadbeats, you know, you got deadbeats and how are they caused? Well, you got to realize either mom done laid up with a deadbeat and he's gone, so that son doesn't see what a role model of a man is, or she done laid up with some dude that's incarcerated, that's locked up forever, or she done laid up with some dude that got out in the streets, got murdered, or she's denying access to a dude that wants to be here. Now, the incarcerated and the murdered and the deadbeat, I guarantee you they're not as abundant as the dudes that are being denied access to their children. You know, see, dudes get smart. They'll mess around, have a child with you. Oh, shit, I can't fuck with you. Okay, I'm going to walk away. I'm not walking away from my children. I'm walking away from you. I don't like you anymore. But then that dude right there, he gets denied access while the incarcerated dude and the deadbeat can come in and out whenever he fucking wants to. This is what happens. See, all of these things, you know, we got to start holding women accountable in our community. Our community is full of shit when you look at it. We got these bitter brother feminists that get up here and try to condone everything that a woman does. You know, oh, no, women are the black, beautiful queen, mother of the earth, all that bullshit. But we need to We need to start holding women accountable for the things that they are accountable for, just like we need to hold men accountable for the things that we are accountable for. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and read this article, man. 12 cons of dating a woman with kids. And this article was written by a woman. So her name is Emily Loves. And it goes like, here it is. Dating a woman with kids comes with several pros and cons. Many people balk at the idea of dating a woman with kids, but nowadays it is more and more likely that you will build a connection with a single parent. According to the statistics from the U.S. Census Bureau, millions of children are being raised in single-family homes, and a majority of those homes are being headed by the mother. And that's why the community is fucked up, because our society has said men are expendable and we can get the fuck rid of them. Feminism has come in and ruined a whole bunch of shit. So now you got women raising boys that don't know how to be men, but now you women want to claim and cry. Y'all want to cry about where the men at. Well, what y'all raising is not worthy enough to be called men. But let me keep going. Aside from unwed mothers, approximately 50% of American marriages end in divorce, leaving several divorcees on the market sharing child custody with the previous spouse. If you find yourself in a situation where you start dating a woman with kids, you may not know what to do, particularly when it's unknown territory. While I would never advise anyone against dating a woman with kids, it's important to take inventory of the challenges that can come with that situation. Take a look below for 12 cons of dating a woman with kids. Right off the bat, I would just tell any young man that has anything going for himself out and don't have children, man, steer the fuck clear of women with children. Do it. Do not get involved, because one of the things is you can get into a relationship with a woman with a child, and then you can hit it off really well in the beginning. You can really bond with that child. But if she tells you to leave, get the fuck out, I don't want to be with you no more, or however it happens, you have no leverage over the child, overseeing the child, being with the child. You know, and that's a hurting feeling. Whenever you love something and you have to leave it, it's a hurting feeling. That's one reason. Next reason was the damn video you just saw. You know, when you try to step in and become the man or be the man that you're supposed to be with these children, you got this type of asshole in the way. Now, here's one of the 12 dramas. Here's one of the 12 cons. Ex drama. Plenty of single mothers have a cordial relationship with their ex or exes, because you know a lot of children, a lot of mothers have multiple children's fathers for these kids out here. And that's some shit you're going to have to deal with. But there's also a possibility of drama. And the thing about dating a woman with kids is that if there is drama with the ex, there's no way around it. She is going to be bonded for life with this person because of her children, or basically because of the choices that she made, which means you will also have to deal with whatever curveballs that guy throws without ever having the luxury of him being completely out of the picture. Man, fuck that. That's why you have to ask up front, you know, what's your status with your children's father? Where is he? Who is he? What was he into? It's not that you being a punk. Bruh, trust me. You don't want to get caught out here lacking. Some motherfucker know who you are, but you don't know who he is, and then you get popped out. Don't put yourself in that situation. Here's another con, as they're calling it. Wild nights and hangovers aren't an option. If you're still at an age in your life where you enjoy getting wild and loose, know that you're not going to be able to partake in that type of debauchery when dating a woman with kids. Parents need to be role models to their children, which means stumbling through the door at 3 a.m. is simply not a good look. In fact, it could even have legal repercussions. Single moms also deal with a limited sleep schedule, being that they probably need to drop kids off at school in the morning and attend different school events. That doesn't mean you won't be able to enjoy your time with a single mom or that single moms don't know how to party. But the freedom to get totally wild and make mistakes isn't really an option for parents. Now, let me tell you, this is some bullshit too, because there's so many women out here that still have wild nights and hangovers. They had that shit right in the crib with the kids. And a lot of them are not they do bring the kids to school in their pajamas and bonnets. Y'all see it all the goddamn time. That's what I'm saying, bruh. You have to understand who you dealing with. Don't fuck your life up off of a wrong choice. Do not. I understand what she's saying. They're saying for you not to come into the life of these children doing these things. A lot of these mothers are already doing it. They're half naked in front of their sons, the whole 9 yards. So I'm telling y'all on some real shit, a lot of times if you're a young guy, no children, you got something going for yourself, or you're trying to get something going for yourself, man, just stay away from women with children. Brace yourself for schedule changes. If you're dating a woman with kids, you need to prepare yourself for things to change at the last minute. If an emergency comes up with one of her kids, she will need to drop everything. Even if you plan a weekend away with her, she will need to rush home if something happens to one of her children. I mean, that's a very valid one, but we also know that you got some women out there that just flat out don't give a damn. They're not changing their plans for the kids, and they'll pick men over their children sometimes. This is, you just got to know who you dealing with, man. You have to, the communication piece in the beginning is the key. If you're going to deal with a woman with children, you have to communicate. You got to set boundaries. You got to be able to just walk away from that motherfucker if she gets to the point where she's disrespecting you as a man. Your stress may feel insignificant. They say being a parent is the hardest job you'll ever have to do, and it's true. When you're dating a woman with a child and you don't have children of your own, you may feel like your stresses are insignificant compared to hers. Along with maintaining her own income, she is single-handedly caring for little ones, and she may even be doing it without any help from the biological father. And she may be doing it without the biological father voluntarily. A lot of women deny the access that men want to their children. They deny that shit. Or she done laid up with some bum, or she done laid up with some dude that's locked up for the rest of his life or buried. So you got to realize these are just the niceties that she's coming up with. But sometimes women take care of children all by themselves because they chose to. You may feel like you can't complain to her about your issues or bemoan a lack of sleep because, let's face it, she probably hasn't gotten a decent amount of sleep since her children were born. Of course, you shouldn't have to feel like your problems are trivial. Communication is always going to be key to a relationship with someone who has children. Man, I'm gonna put it to you this way. Like I said, if you're being made to feel like you're insignificant, I would say go ahead and try to communicate it. Let her know how you feel. But if that shit keep happening, bruh, you need to put your walking shoes on. You're not her top priority. You're not going to be this woman's top priority. More importantly, you shouldn't be this woman's top priority. She's a mother first and a girlfriend second. If this is something that you can't handle, you need to steer clear of dating a woman with children. Now, if you move into the house, I don't give a damn if you're a husband or a boyfriend. If you move in the house and you're paying bills, you become the man of the house, you should therefore be priority. The children are not the most important things in the house. If y'all doing it right, y'all doing it together. Flat the fuck out. Her kids might not like you. You have to face the reality that her kids might not warm up to you at first, and they may never warm up to you. You can't predict that situation until you're in it. If her children don't like you, it's not a 100% guarantee that the relationship won't work out, but it can definitely present challenges that threaten the connection between the two of you. Hey man, some of these little kids are just bad as fuck, and you may not like their ass. That's why I'm saying be careful with dating women with children, because a lot of times all you getting is, let's be honest, you getting some used pussy, bad attitude, and bad children. That's what you're getting. Because the women nowadays, man, they on some bullshit, this boss chick bullshit. You got to steer clear of it, bro. And hell, even if you're a man with children, and you have children and you've disciplined them, you gave them structure, you don't want to mix your children in with no bullshit, man. Hey, trust me, you do not want to fuck around with a woman whose children are undisciplined. Oh, here go. You might not like her kids. Even worse than a scenario where her children don't warm up to you is one where you just plain don't like her kids. I'm not saying that you would be malicious toward them, but when there are children in a situation and they aren't your biological children, you just can't predict whether or not you would click until you meet them. And if you don't like her kids, the relationship is not going to work, period. Remember that she and her children are a package deal, and if you can't accept the entire package, it's not the right relationship for either of you. Now that I agree with 1000%. Get to stepping, bro. You need to step into the role of a parent. You need to step into the role of a parent. There's a difference between liking kids and being able to step into the role of a parent. If you date a single mom and eventually get married, that makes you a stepfather to the children. Blended families are nothing unique in this day and age, and plenty of men and women are making amazing step parents who love their stepchildren and truly become an important facet of their lives. However, ask yourself if that's something you want and would be able to truly handle. That brings me to the next point. Before we get to her next point, let's go back to that video. This dude stepped in to become the stepfather. He knew what the deal was. He stepped into that role. He's paying the bills. He's doing all the things seemingly like he should be doing. But what happened? She flexed her authority over the situation because one, it's her house. That's one mistake the brother made. You don't ever move into a woman's house. Ever. Ever move into a woman's house. That is a no-no. Because at any time, she can tell you get the fuck on. She can flex on you anytime she wants to. It's still her house, no matter if you pay the bills in it or not. And then when it comes to her children, and they're not yours, those are her children. You have no say-so. So, brother, it's kind of like a lose-lose situation in a lot of situations until you communicate with this woman and find out how things are. But whenever you get into a situation with a woman with children, what you need to do is find out what's the dynamics of that family, because a lot of time these women let these children just do any and every fucking thing, man. They're some little bad demonoids. So you got to find out what's going on. You got to set your boundaries. And if there's something you don't like and that shit, and she's not willing to correct it, you got to be willing to just bone the fuck out real quick, man. Don't stay around. Now let's get to her next point. If you don't want kids, you're in trouble. Let's say that you don't want kids. That's completely fine. Lots of people today, particularly millennials, are choosing to forego having children. You might think that because the woman's children aren't yours, that it doesn't matter that you don't want children. But although you won't, and should never attempt to, be replacing the child's real father, you are going to have to act parentally if you and this woman become serious. She and her children are a package deal, and it won't be healthy for your relationship or the children if you treat the kids as something entirely separate from your relationship. No matter what, you and her children will end up inextricably linked if you end up together. Now, I'm gonna put it to you this way: if you do take that challenge of becoming a stepfather, and the woman allows you to come in interference free and lay it down like it's supposed to be laid down, brother, it is your responsibility to be the best man that you possibly can be. You're the best father that you possibly can be, because children didn't ask for this. When she's allowing you to come in and do what a man is supposed to do, lay down the law, the discipline, the structure, and this and that and the other, to love on them, to hug on them, to do all the things that a dad does, do that shit, man, and don't ever use the word stepchildren. This is just my thing. Don't call them stepchildren. They are now your children when you walk into that situation and you have full autonomy over your role. If you walk into that role and she's not interfering, she trusts you to be dad, bruh. Now, the next one is she might not want to have more kids. And that's one of the things. You may be a brother without any children and you want some. Let's take a look at a different scenario. Let's say that you want to have children of your own. She already has kids, and that may mean that she doesn't want to have any more. You might have to deal with the fact that having biological children of your own isn't in your future if you stay with her. And if that's the case, if you want children and she tell you up front, I don't want any more, bro, just kill it right there before y'all even get started. Crazy sex capades. Think again. Sex is an extremely important part of any romantic relationship, but when you're dating a woman with kids, you can't bank on having crazy sex capades because, let's face it, you don't want to scar those kids for life by being super loud when it comes to knocking boots with their mom. In fact, she may not want to have sex with you at all unless the kids are not in the house or if you go to your place. That's not to say that you can't enjoy a healthy sex life when dating a woman with kids, but it can definitely get tricky. Okay, if y'all serious, everything is going smooth, you like the kids, she like you, the kids like you, everything is smooth, man, y'all gonna be able to get it in. Trust me, y'all gonna be able to get it in because y'all gonna discipline and give structure. Those children gonna be in bed at a certain time and y'all gonna be able to get it in. Hell, you're gonna be able to sneak it in when you send them to the room to go and play the little Lego shit. You can get you a 5-minute quickie in that, boy. I don't agree with that one. You can get your fuck on. A breakup could be doubly hard. Now, I was speaking about this earlier. I've talked a lot about scenarios where you don't warm up to the woman's children, if they don't warm up to you, or if dating a woman with kids makes it difficult for you to move forward by having your own biological children. But there's another very important thing to consider. Maybe you will get along with her children extremely well. In fact, you might not just get along with her children, you may get extremely attached to her children. If this happens and you and the woman end up breaking up, that breakup is going to be especially difficult. You won't just be losing a woman, you'll be losing her children too. But keep in mind, I have seen circumstances where the bond is so strong between the boyfriend and her kids that you'd still be able to communicate with them as they grow into adulthood. This works especially well if the woman you're dating and then break up with has kids in junior high or high school. The kids are much more likely to want to continue their friendship with you. It's a very difficult thing to do, man. So if you're gonna take that chance of dating a woman that has children, you just gotta cover yourself, man. I'm telling you. Is a very difficult thing to do. Other things to consider. This article is intended to give you some insight into the cons of dating women with kids, but that doesn't mean I'm saying you should avoid dating a woman simply because she has children. I'm telling you, you might want to if you're a young brother going some places and you have no children. There are pros and cons to everything, and dating a woman with kids can come with some amazing benefits despite the challenges that a relationship can bring. Some mothers are patient, independent, and strong. That independent word is a fucking fallacy. If she's not interdependent, leave it alone. If she doesn't know anything about interdependence, leave her alone. And then the word strong, a lot of these women get the word strong confused with being confrontational. So you gotta know what this shit means too. They are less likely to be looking to go out, party, and sleep with a bunch of randos because they want a stable, fulfilling relationship in order to set a good example for their children. Single mothers will also appreciate the fact that you don't look at her children as baggage. Look at her children as baggage, and she will show you how much she appreciates this by giving her all into the relationship. Some women will, some women won't. You just have to be lucky enough or skillful enough to find that one and weed out all the bullshit and all the bullshit people and find that diamond in the rough. One of the best ways you can explore dating a woman with kids while also being wary of the potential challenges is through mega dating. I don't know about all this mega dating crap, but all I'm gonna tell you is this. When it comes to dating a woman with children, when it comes to dating a woman with children, it's going to be some fucking challenges right off the rip. Trust me, it is a fucking challenge, you know, and when it all boils down to it, you have to decide for yourself what you want out of it. Well, that's the cons of being with a woman with children. Choose wisely, because if you don't, it can go bad really quickly. So, if you saw the video and you liked it, hit the like button. If you liked it and you're not subscribed and you're not a soul visionary, hit that subscribe button to become a soul visionary. And if you did both of those things, you liked it, you subscribed, now you're a soul visionary, share the content so we can grow the community, so that we can have these open discussions about anything. You know, soon I will be opening up to having folks call in. We'll be going live. We'll be doing some live shows shortly. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, and be safe.